continue service?
Yes.
One will be after the sermon to sing Sim Shalom.
Okay.
And then
Oh, very good. Okay. And Rabbi, after we this right? Correct. Take the closing song.
Closing song.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom.
We're on page 10.
Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom again, everybody, and welcome, everyone. Just take a moment and turn to someone near you and say Shabbat Shalom. And it's nice for everyone to feel welcome. Make believe that we've just gotten on a tour bus in Israel and we're getting to know each other. And it's wonderful. During my last trip to Israel, I was with a group of rabbis, and some of them I hadn't spent time with for 40 years since we were in school. And no matter what, those connections are always there, just like the connections we feel when we are at temple with those we know.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
One more time, all of us.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom,
Monsalve wrote a beautiful poem, his meditation on Hatikva, the national anthem of Israel. A song that holds my heart. Tell me about your land and your spirit. Tell me about your people and your love. Tell me about your history and your longing. Sing a song of hope, the song of hope, the song that holds my heart. Lead me to the cypress and the wadi, the rhythm of the hills and the whispers of the desert, the music of the waters and the heartbeat of the stone. Sing a song of hope, the song of hope, the song that holds my heart. This land, this people are one. This land, this people are one. Show me your strength and your passion. Show me your joy and your fear. Show me your pride and your yearning. Sing a song of hope, the song of hope, the song that holds my heart.
Top of page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharim, Malachei Elyon, Oni Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Asharim,
The Chatzikadosh is on page 24.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shmei Rabbah, B'hamad yivrach terutei v'yamlit malchutei, B'chayechon u'yomechon, u'chayedecho beit Yisrael, Ba'gala, u'bizman kariv, V'meru amen, Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, Le'alam Yomei Helmaya, Yitbarak v'Shabak v'Par v'Troman v'Naseh, v'Hadar v'Haleh v'Halal, Shemei Gudusha B'Rechu, Leila Minchol Berchata v'Shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran v'Alma, v'Meru, Amen.
Please rise in body, posture, spirit, page 26.
Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 Baruchu et Adonai, Amen.
read together on the top of 29 the poem from the Fourfold Song by Rav Kook, the first chief rabbi of Israel. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe. Nevarech, let us bless. We read together on the bottom of 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we'll meditate on your laws and your commandments. Rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
We turn to the top of page 36. We join together for the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uv'lektecha b'derech, uv'shokbecha u'kumecha, uv'kshatam liot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Utavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkiru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim leloheichem ani Adonai Eloheichem asher hotzeti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Li'ot lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue with our inserts, praying especially for peace for all of those who are innocent in Israel and in Gaza. Each week, our hearts are torn a little bit more as we see all of the suffering. We pray that the leaders especially will finally be guided by wisdom and compassion and not their own needs. We read together. We gather together in faith and with hope to pray for peace and safety. Help us, Holy One, and protect us in our hour of need. Touch our hearts lest they harden with despair. Guide our thoughts lest they are overcome with fear. Bring strength to dear ones held hostage, for all of the innocent in Israel and Gaza. Send comfort to those who mourn, healing to everyone who has been injured, courage to those living in fear. Protect the soldiers of Israel. Watch over all caregivers in Israel and Gaza. Send wisdom and compassion to all those who lead. Inspire them to bring peace. Yedid Nefesh, beloved one, Reveal yourself and fill the world with your light. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Be quick, God of love, for the time has come. Have mercy upon us, Eternal One of peace.
We turn to the top of page 40, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha, Va'elim Adonai. Mi Chamocha, Nedar B'Kodesh. No Ratzikilo, Oseh Pelem, Oseh Pelem. Malchut Harau, Vanecha, Okayam Lifnei, Moshe Miriam, Zelianu, Ve'ameru, Adonai lo, Leolam Va'em. Mi Chamocha, Va'elim Adonai. Mi Chamocha, Nedar B'Kodesh. No Ratzikilo, Oseh Pelem, Oseh Pelem. Top of page 44. V'shamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולה. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולה. And you bnei Israel, bnei Israel, Oti leolam. V'shamru bnei Israel et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו.
We continue with Tefillah, beginning on page 46. Please rise in body, posture, or spirit.
Adonai, Sifatai Tita, Ufiat Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei
Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Lifnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Etzvat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah, Rav Yoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalchel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Nofim B'Rofei Cholim, U'Maksir Atzurim, U'Mechayeh Emunato, L'Shenei Afar, Micham Hocha Bal Giburot, U'Midom Elach, Melech Memid, U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata L'Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Middle of page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Bless you. We continue with our own prayers or the prayers of the tefillah. Please be seated as you conclude. Mishaberach, Imotenu V'Avotenu, our God and God of our mothers and fathers, God of Sarah and Abraham, Rebekah and Isaac, Leah, Rachel, and Jacob, as you've been with our ancestors, be with all who are in need of your healing. Send them refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, healing of body, mind, and spirit. Eternal God, may the light of your presence be with them. Please, please bring them strength, bring them comfort, bring them ease. Take care of their dear ones. Watch over them as they pray for their loved ones who are ill. Guide all who take care of them to have skilled hands and understanding hearts. We offer our prayers for Eileen Toll, Nadav Ephraim Kammer, Nadav Ephraim Ben Shulamit Leah, Kenny Berkowitz, Lois Berkowitz, Mary Curie, Eileen Feldman, Pauline Spirito, Dennis Aikman, Lori Bacalar, Mike Walsh, Jacob Chaim Ben Shlom Sviv Abrina, Sandra Mosk, Paul Polachek, Roger Landy, Gary Friedman, Joan Kramer. There are others that we add. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Rapha HaCholim. Blessed are you, O God, who sends strength and healing to the ill. Amen.
Words, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, page 353, bottom of the page. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Le'akulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Le'akulam. Salam Aleinu Le'ako Ha'olam. Salam, 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu.
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. And the Soro Tovot, does anybody have anything wonderful happening this weekend? Lindsay, do you want to talk into the mic, or are you going to let your mother do it?
We're very excited that tomorrow Lindsay will become a bat mitzvah, and we're really pleased to share it all with you all.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. And Gil, welcome back. It'd be safer to sit in that seat than up here. Okay. Great. Anybody else? How many days until he comes back from Israel? What? 1 week from Tuesday. Oh, over here, yes.
So I spoke to Shelby because the Passover Seder was such a success, and Shavuot is coming up on June 11th, and so I asked her if there was a possibility of us, after services, having a little luncheon, and she said, Claire, you're on. So we do have to get responses so she knows how much to order, but we are going to reach out to everyone to say, let's make it happen.
Great. Let me bring the mic over to you because we want everybody on Zoom. Welcome everybody on Zoom to hear, even though they can't see you.
My oldest son, Asher, had his 6th birthday last week, and my brother, this is my mom and her son, is getting married next week.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Great. Anybody else? So coming up on Tuesday, May 21st at 11, Gadi is going to be his tour guide from Israel that I know, and he'll be talking to us. He was born in the States, grew up on kibbutz, was in the IDF, and it's not a good time to be a tour guide in Israel right now, so very important to come out and support and to get his perspective. He's going to be on Zoom. We're going to be here watching him. I'm not going to telecast it on Zoom, but we'll be here, and we'll be here at the temple. The date is Tuesday the 21st. Great. And pardon me, I'm going to slide this up just a little bit because I realized I could keep an eye on my slides from the back here. Only took me a whole year to figure out how to do this. 2 weeks ago, I joined with 1,500 people the Stand for Jewish Students rally that was in Boston. We heard from Hillel staff members, from leaders of CJP's Center for Combating Anti-Semitism, and most powerfully from students. Julia Friedman of Boston College said, "Nothing over the last few months has been normal for Jews, except that it's become normal to publicly hate Jews." Lisha Baker, a student from Columbia, he said, "For the last 10 days, my friends and I have experienced firsthand what happens when society refuses to believe us because we're Jews." Ronnie Moser from Emerson College, he said, "People have the right to protest, and people have the right to protest things we don't necessarily believe in. People shouldn't and don't have the right to use violent and anti-Semitic speech." I didn't appreciate the depth of the crisis until I spoke to people that I know, until I began to watch on television, on YouTube, and see some of the violence that was perpetrated against Jewish students. I won't play any of the videos, but for a moment I'm going to show one picture. I'll tell you when the picture's passed if you don't want. This was a student at Harvard who was surrounded. Did that picture go through? No. Give me a second. Let's try this again. Man, I had built up to such a great crescendo. There's the demonstration. And this was the student who was surrounded at Harvard. And just to watch the video was absolutely horrendous. Back to our regular screens. Threats against Jewish students, attacks, graffiti, an environment where Jewish students don't feel safe, where any minority doesn't feel safe, is absolutely wrong. It's never acceptable. Incidents like we're saying all deserve a national outcry. People aren't internalizing how terrible this is, and particularly for the Jewish community. And it particularly hits close to home, because as a Jewish community, we always value education. And now, to have that place of learning be turned away and become violent is terrible. The Jewish people have created this life, being immigrants to being part of the American dream. And that's why this is so painful. Our hearts go out to all of the innocent people in Israel and Gaza who suffered since October 7th. The scenes of death in Israel, the pain on the faces of families whose loved ones are held hostage, the displacement of innocent people and destruction of Gaza, all bring tears to our eyes. Tonight, I want to share with you several ideas about the crisis, both in Israel and Gaza and on campus. I'm going to share a few different stories. I want to begin, though, by referring to a text I often talk about. The schools of Hillel and Shammai debated for 3 years about who is right. Finally, a voice from heaven said, "Both of you are right, but the law is according to Hillel." The rabbis asked why, and they said, because the school of Hillel cited the opinions of Shammai and cited them first. Over the last 20 years, every year I go to Israel, and often I'll spend several days just traveling to talk to Israelis or being on the West Bank to talk to Palestinians. The most important thing for me through the years is I don't live there. I'm very circumspect about offering any kind of idea about what should be done. My life isn't at risk, and the life of my dear ones that aren't at risk. I want to hear from people what they're thinking. I want to begin tonight by talking about some of the hardships that I've seen on the West Bank. And I'll focus on the violence that's been perpetrated against Israelis next. Israel is constantly expanding its presence in the West Bank. In broad brushstrokes, there are two different groups. There are those who are ideological settlers. They go because Judea and Samaria, they want to be part of the greater land of Israel. But then there are those who are what you call economic settlers. This picture is Malay Adumim. It's a bedroom community, a suburb of Jerusalem. 40,000 people live there. Why? The apartments are bigger and the costs are lower than when you're in the center of Jerusalem. A tremendous problem is the illegal outposts. That settlers are in one place, they'll find a hilltop, find a vacant space, and they'll occupy that place. They want to create facts on the ground and expand their own territories. And then through the years, more and more, settlers have attacked Palestinians, and they've also destroyed Palestinian olive groves. This isn't to mitigate any of the attacks against Israelis, against Jews, but it's a continual and a growing problem. The attacks which divide. To me, the city of Hebron represents the worst of what goes on. It's the place of the tomb of the patriarchs and matriarchs, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and Leah. It's the worst example of settler expansion. This site is holy to Jews and Muslims. I went there with a group of former soldiers with the group called Breaking the Silence. Hebron has a population of 200,000 Palestinians, 1,100 Jews. They've settled in the center of the city. This area is protected by soldiers, and it's desolate. It's virtually a ghost town. To me, it's unconscionable that such a small group is making life so difficult for so many. I want to turn now to Gaza from the perspective of Israelis. Israelis are so conscious, we're all conscious, that there have been 4 major wars with Arab countries, those that sought to destroy Israel: 48, 56, 67, and 1972. As I said, I was in Israel during the Second Intifada from 2000 to 2005. Over 1,000 Israelis and 3,000 Palestinians were killed. This was the time of suicide bombers, and you couldn't go into a restaurant or a shopping mall without being scanned, and everybody was on the lookout for a suspicious package. When I lived there for a year, I was outside in Jerusalem with a friend, and again, this is a bit of a difficult picture. I was outside, and about 6 blocks away, I heard the bomb that went off at Cafe Hillel. And it was a terrible, terrible scene. You could smell it. You could feel myself wanting to run, see the emergency response. And in Israel, from that time and through October 7th, everybody is 1 degree of separation. That if you don't know somebody that was affected, you know someone who knows someone. This moves me to Gaza today. Israel left Gaza in 2005. In 2006, Hamas won elections. And in 2007, they took full control. And I've spent time with those who had lived in Gaza and who had left, that the army had them leave. And, you think about it. An infrastructure was left. The people in Gaza could have done anything. And instead, it became a base for attacks against Israel. Since 2006, there were 9 different times when Israel went into Gaza because the missile strikes were so severe. I went to Sderot, a city right on the border, shortly after one of the attacks. I could see the reality. I went to the police station and saw the different missiles. A country could have been built. Instead, Hamas built tunnels and fired rockets. And here is the difference between Hamas and between Israel. Hamas fires rockets from civilian areas. Hamas digs tunnels. In Israel, in Sderot, safe rooms were built in people's houses, and you see this is an outdoor shelter so that kids in the park, when they were playing, when there was an air raid siren, it wasn't a scary shelter. They could go in and it seemed just like part of the playground. That's the difference. And this brings me to our conflict today and campuses. Now, I don't have a solution. We all wish we had solutions. The suffering of innocent people in Israel and Gaza goes beyond words. And we all agree that people have a right to protest, an obligation when there are issues that they hold dear. But attacks on anyone can never be tolerated. I'd like to turn now to the words of Bayard Ruskin. He was one of the leaders of the March on Washington in 1963. That's where Dr. King delivered the I Have a Dream speech. Harvey Fields, Rabbi Fields, in a Torah commentary from our times, quotes these words from Bayard Ruskin. They were from the New York Times in 1967. He talks about the criteria for civil disobedience. Number 1, have I exhausted the available constitutional means of bringing about the desired change? Number 2, do the people I urge to join me sincerely seek to improve society, or do they wish to incite passions that would destroy society itself? 3, what is likely to be the effect of the resistance on me, on others, and on the community? Are my motives and objectives clear to myself and to others? Is my aim genuine social change or mere self-gratification? Given that I oppose specific laws, am I prepared, out of my deep respect for law itself, to suffer the consequences of my disobedience? And now we turn to the college campuses. The protests are expressions of deep, deep passion. For some, it's care. For some, they see suffering and they want to reach out. For others, there's anger. It's important to honor feelings. But violence is never acceptable. The leader of the protest at Columbia who said Zionists should die, or those who justified the October 7th massacre because it was part of a struggle for liberation, they lose all credibility. They lose respect. Their words no longer carry weight. It's never acceptable to use violence to bring peace. And the college campus, instead of a place of dialogue, has in many ways become a place of fear and discord. Another thing, Israel and Gaza, there are many points of view. Now people are presenting it as monolithic, and the slogans that are being chanted at the campus, in effect, are calling for genocide. Genocide against the Jewish people. The aim of Hamas is to wipe out the Jewish state. Again and again they've sent missiles. And in one of the articles in the Washington Post it said, "What are you protesting for?" And we've lost that nuance, we've lost that ability to hear. Throughout life I've been engaged in protest. I often say there's never a protest that I don't want to sign up for. At one point, I was working on immigration reform. I didn't quite know what was happening, but I was involved in an action at the office of Senator McCain of blessed memory. We just wanted to call the senator's attention to the issue, and we intentionally stopped before a confrontation. In 2014, I joined a group of clergy in Ferguson, Missouri, after the death of Michael Brown. Some of the group chose to be arrested. They were engaging in civil disobedience and aware and accepted the consequences of their actions. Another article I read said, when you call for amnesty for yourself, you're diminishing your own credibility. If you have an encampment as an act of civil disobedience, go back to the words of Bayard Ruskin. Are you prepared to accept the consequences? There are many ways to protest. The Soviet Jewry movement was one of the most powerful moments of protest and in Jewish life. And yet, through all of the different times of protest, one of the most powerful occurred virtually every day in front of the Soviet embassy. It was a 15-minute silent vigil, and that was something that the Soviet government just could not stand. There's so many different feelings, so many different ways, and I've tried to hold both in tension. But we must speak out. We must support Jewish students. We must call for dialogue. And we must pray for peace. And I've asked John now to sing Sim Shalom. And John, if you'll give us the page. But Sim Shalom is the prayer for peace in the morning service.
Page 140.
And it asks for the blessing. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. It says, give goodness, blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy. Give us peace.
Page 140. 140. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom.
continue with the Elenu on 282. Please rise in body posture for spirit. The Kaddish can be found on page 294. On this Shabbat, remember the passing in the last 30 days of Sidney Rose and Lisa Rayner. We mark the yahrzeits of Marie Ratner Abelman, Sonny Bell Bobkis, Gladys Freund Baker, Marvin Sumner Cohen, Elias Elkin, Alfred Feldman, Mildred Gladstone, Benjamin Grisdorf, Eva Hurwitz, Roberta S. Kreplik, Mary Lewin, Betty Loring, Ellen McGurk, Jacob George Miller, Joseph Post, Lawrence Ross, Anna K. Schloss, Robert E. Siegel, Morris Shapiro, Sandra Logan Shulkin, Esther R. Solomon, Columbia Swinson, Eleanor Trebach, Gail Weitzer, Rose Zhang. We recall Abraham Anklis, Tilly Marcus Kaplan, Irma Strauss Goldman, Samuel Kahan, Charles Kaufman, Phyllis Plotnick, Bertha Sharon. Are there others who we recall in yahrzeit? Thank you. We think of all those who lost their lives defending the land of Israel as Yom HaZikaron occurs this coming week. We think of all of those who have lost their lives in Israel and Gaza, those who are innocent, those who have lost their lives because of COVID-19 disaster, in the defense of freedom, and those with no one to remember them. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah v'yamar divra hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chaye chon v'yomei chon uv'chaye v'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'varach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei v'yitkusha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushvachata v'nechemata damiram v'alma v'yamru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yamru amen.
Amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved. Amen.
And we're going to conclude with Hatikva, bottom of page 374. לבב פנימה, נפש יהודי מודיעה, ופאתי מזרח קדימה, חיים לציון סופיה. עודו עבדה תקוותנו, הצליחה בת שנות אלפיים, להיות המחושי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים. להיות המחושי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
So John, like, after the whole year, I finally, adjusted it here, adjusted it there, and like tonight it's like, oh, I can watch to make sure my the screen is working properly. And
finally got it down working the way you like.
yeah, but this will be my last one with the with the TV. I've got other people giving sermons and stuff the next few weeks.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wish all over the world that people were saying, I'm sorry for life, I'm sorry
Take care. Yeah.